This week on eNEWS, we'll take a look at how to relieve stress before finals, how video games may or may not make people violent, and the thriving art scene in Lethbridge. All this and more on eNEWS.
Hello and welcome to eNEWS. I'm Sarah Striga.
And I'm Jessica Goose. Here's our top story. The provincial budget has been announced and more cuts in funding are in the mix again. The province has announced another round of cuts to healthcare and post-secondary education for the upcoming year. Reporter Eric Mickelson took a deeper look into how this announcement is going to impact Lethbridge College.
Students may not notice it, but a major financial change is coming to Lethbridge College. The ministry outlined last Friday that this year's budget is planning to develop a stable and more resilient post-secondary education system. It outlined its focus on strengthening the system during economic uncertainty. The Lethbridge College Faculty Association says that they have great concerns after a number of years of decreased funding to the system and the increasing cost of living.
And the combined result of decreases in funding and increased costs are simply not sustainable.
Some faculty members wonder, with less money coming to post-secondary education, where the job cuts can come from next. One of the rumors is that a lot of classes will be switched to an online learning format. The impact to the Campus Alberta system is a 1.4% reduction in the operating support in 2015 to 2016 and a reduction of 2.7% in 2016 to 2017. Lethbridge College President Paula Burns says that by spreading the reduction over a 2-year period, they will have more time to assess and plan for the full impact of the reduction.
And recognizing that really high caliber graduates do come out of the entire post-secondary system. And we know that Lethbridge College has graduates who are needed in the regional area. And so we want to continue to produce that. So we'll need to continue to be innovative and look for ways to keep the funding going forward.
Officials say that although Lethbridge College will see a reduction in many areas, they are continuing to work to find solutions to become more resilient to changes. For eNEWS, I'm Eric Mickelson.
Burns says that despite the reductions in funding, money for the completion of the new Trades and Technology building is still available.
Lethbridge College began conducting its annual survey of student use of technology this week. It asked students whether or not they think the college is meeting their tech needs. David Opinko went around the college to find how technology is changing the way the campus operates and how students learn.
Nothing has changed quicker at Lethbridge College than technology. So quickly, in fact, that the institution sometimes struggles to keep up with advancements. The Buchanan Library, in particular, is shifting as much of its resources online as it can, since today's students don't read paper books that often anymore.
We've seen a huge shift in the last 10 years from, say, 95% of our circulation being paper books and 5% being students accessing online resources. That's completely shifted now.
One of the things the college is doing to adapt to new technologies is by using personal charging stations. Each charging station comes with several different connector pins, so you can charge just about any device on them. The Digital Communications and Media program has probably seen the biggest technological shift of all the college's programs. Formerly known as Communication Arts, the program aims to use new technology in the way today's industry does.
So things like using your phones now to shoot video and go and edit video rather than just watching it on the big screen or having to use a professional sized camera to shoot video. So it's more about utilizing the technology in ways that enhance learning.
Students say that technology in the classroom, like using laptops for taking notes, has both pros and cons.
If there's a lot of notes, then I'm usually too busy making sure I get most of them to be doing anything else. But if it's fairly light, yeah, I will distract myself.
In order to keep up with technology, the college is looking to upgrade its Wi-Fi and ensure students have easier access to computers. For eNEWS, I'm David Opinko.
The survey is now closed for this year, but the college is always looking for ways to improve student experience with technology.
With the school year coming to an end, many students are experiencing something all too familiar. As final projects and exams pile up, so does the stress. Alyssa Pudven investigated the methods some students may choose to unwind.
that time of year again, the early mornings, the restless nights, and the binge snacking. If you're a college student, then you know this all too well. Finals have started for many programs around the college, and students are already feeling the stress that comes along with it. So how should you keep your stress levels to a minimum? Psychologist Amy Marco says this time of year is when she sees a lot of students with signs of stress.
Stress is definitely, so lots of anxiety about just being able to pass courses and be successful, right? Lots of anxiety about grades. And a lot of people just kind of experiencing what's called burnout. So just too much stress for too long, so making them feel like they can't function.
Marco believes that taking a step back from your studies will help you more in the long run.
So really healthy to take breaks from studying, and probably the biggest reason is that if you try and study too long, you're not going to retain a lot of what's going into your brain. So we all have an attention span. And if you're stressed and anxious, a lot of parts of your brain retain even less, basically. So you kind of need like a little refresher to kind of jumpstart your brain back to full working mode.
Students all over campus understand the strain finals can put on your body. Public health and nursing student Alessia Scalise agrees with Marco, adding everyone needs to take a break when the studying gets too much.
During finals, I like to get up, take a break from my studies, go around the university for a walk, even go outside. I find it really good to get some fresh air, sit down, go on my cell phone, and just take like a mental break, I guess.
Scalise understands what students are feeling at this time of year, but says every student needs to keep themselves in good health. She has a few tips for anyone looking to cope.
For other students, I would definitely suggest that they should get enough sleep, eat healthy, and do some exercise.
If you're dealing with signs of stress or anxiety, the college has counselors you can sit down and speak with throughout the week. They're here to listen to you and give you more tips on how to deal with the pressure. For eNEWS, I'm Melissa Padvay.
If you need to speak with a counselor, you can contact Chappelle at 1-855-649-8641. Coming up next on eNEWS, we'll take a look at how the city is managing yard waste responsibly and how the University of Lethbridge Arts Department showcased a newer form of art.
Hey, it's Kiana Nelson, and you're listening to the Top 40.
Hey, this is Kyle, and you're listening to the Alternative Hour here on the Kodiak.
I'm Melissa Padvay, and this is the Country Hour.
I'm Alex Nealick, and this is the Rock Hour on the Kodiak.
Hey, this is Sam Borsato, and you're listening to the 80s at 8 on the Kodiak.
It's 2 degrees at 2 o'clock. I'm Debbie Knight with Kodiak News. Lethbridge College.
Hello and welcome to Campus Horizons. I'm your host, Rachel Crow Spreading Wings, and I'm here with Nama Tuckett, who is an instructor at Lethbridge College in the Interior Design Technology program. Welcome.
Thank you.
So can you kind of catch me up on what's going on with the Kaleidoscope?
For sure, we're doing a lot to prepare for Kaleidoscope. So we've been working on like our historical display, our interactive display, getting the students are working on their projects to have those on. We're also working on the floor plan to design the whole space as well as decorating the space.
Wow, so what kind of decorations are it going to be putting up?
Well, if anybody's seen the poster, we're really going for like a rainbow color scheme to go with the connectivity idea of all the different programs together. So we're kind of pulling in all those different fun colors into the decoration.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. So how many students are involved, first, second years?
We've got our, we're mostly focusing on our grads, so we've got our second year students. There's 9 of them graduating this year. And then we have our first years involved as well, so they've been helping with the fundraising, like the bake sale, and then they're going to be volunteering for the show as well.
And how long has Kaleidoscope been a part of Lethbridge College?
This is our 5th annual Kaleidoscope, so interior design has been involved, and every year more and more. This year we're doing a lot.
How many programs are going on with Kaleidoscope?
We've got the 4 programs in the School of Media and Design, and this year you're going to see kind of a really nice presence of each of the programs.
Okay, thank you so much. That's all the time we have. Until next time, I'm Rachel Crow Spreading Wings.
Spring has sprung, and that means you may want to remove dead grass, leaves, and branches that were hiding over the winter. The City of Lethbridge says you can recycle them all for free. The yard and waste recycling sites opened this past week, and I got the chance to take a look. some, that sound marks the first day of spring. But although it started on March 20th, people are now eager to take their yard waste to the city's yard waste and recycling sites in order to get their summer garden going. City worker Elliot Williamson says now that the weather is getting warmer and the yard work is starting, he's already seen plenty of people coming through, adding that in order for it to run smoothly, people should be courteous of one another.
We find what helps expedite the process is just that everyone comes in, waits their turn, and then we'll guide you in with one of our attendants. If everyone just comes in single file and takes their turn, things go a lot smoother.
Williamson also recommends to pre-bag your leaves and not to bundle up your twigs.
We just ask that customers do not put binder twine on their twigs, as it kind of slows the process for us, and also previously bag your leaves.
First-time user Ivan Orich says the facility really benefits the city.
Oh, it's great. It's a real good system for the city.
For a list of what you can and cannot recycle, visit lethbridge.ca for more information. Last year, over 30,000 people used the yard and waste sites.
Pollination, food production, and an amazing journey. That's what the Helen Schuler Nature Center is offering with the introduction of a new exhibit. I looked into the display that has people aflutter.
Butterflies are the main focus at the Helen Schuler Nature Center with the launch of their new Monarch Butterfly exhibit. The exhibit, however, is more than just a static environment. It aims to educate the public about the benefits of butterflies, as well as make learning about the creatures fun and interesting.
Pollinators like the monarch butterfly or like honeybees, they play such a critical role in our food security. Without pollinators, the human race will likely collapse.
Entering the exhibit, the public is drawn into the winged creature's beauty and encouraged to participate in several hands-on activities. These stations include everything from tracing and coloring the monarch's iconic wings to investigating the beautiful and complex creatures through a microscope.
This game, for example, called The Incredible Journey, features the monarch butterfly's amazing journey from Mexico to Canada. To play, you simply grab a pawn and roll the dice. Then you walk the amount of steps that the dice said, and you read one of the fun facts. Workers at the exhibit also offer tips to visitors on the best ways to aid the butterfly population and increase pollination production in your own backyard.
One of the easiest things you can do is plant pollinator-friendly plants. So one of the displays here at the Nature Center is looking at pollinator-friendly plants and how you can garden to create a welcoming environment that will encourage all types of pollinators, whether it's the monarch butterfly, whether it's the honeybee, whether it's mason bees, you name it.
The Helen Schuler Nature Center is open from 10 to 4 Tuesday through Sunday. Admittance is free, however, donations are appreciated.
Local digital artists are getting a chance to showcase their talent these days. University of Lethbridge New Media students hosted an exhibit called Best Bites, giving art enthusiasts a sneak peek into the future. Rachel Crow Spreading Wings has more.
The art world in Lethbridge is expanding. New media is becoming its own genre of art. What is classified as new media art? Best Bites director, Kiri Carrot, was happy to answer that question.
Anything that's been digitally altered pretty much in any way. Some of the people actually paint in Photoshop. You can alter existing images, create something entirely new.
Artists can be inspired from speeches like President Kennedy's inaugural speech and turn it into a cartoon. Something as simple as clicking the cursor can become a game of moving the dragon. Musical pieces are turned into rainbow paintings by a quick click of a key. There was even a short film. The winners were chosen from 4 categories.
And then we actually asked the public to come in and fill out a ballot. We had about 135 people vote, and we had the best bite was chosen out of that.
This year, there was over 70 submissions for the show. The class chose 50 of those to exhibit.
New media art exhibits have been part of the University of Lethbridge for over 15 years. For more information about how you can be involved with the next exhibit, contact bestbites.ca. For eNEWS, I'm Rachel Crow Spreading Wings.
In order to submit artwork, artists must be over the age of 16.
The impact of violence in video games has been a hot debate since the 1990s. One side claims that violent video games create violent people. The other disagrees wholeheartedly. Reporter Alex Mulick explored both sides of the controversy. But first, a warning. Some of the video in this story may be disturbing to some viewers.
Gaming throughout the 21st century has become a huge industry, with games like Grand Theft Auto 5 reaching $1 billion in sales in just 3 days and outselling blockbuster movies such as The Avengers and Avatar. But with such a large industry, controversy comes with the territory. Violence in video games and the thought that it creates violent people is what the gaming industry is dealing with now.
And if he does that, yeah, there it is. I called it.
Gamers like Chris Hodgkinson, also known as I Am Patty Jack, have channels on YouTube to express how they feel on games, their opinions on the industry, and to talk about concerns they have on gaming topics such as this. I Am Patty Jack says when he's thinking about the debate, he isn't thinking about the gamers themselves.
Or I think about the 30-year-old soccer mom that goes into an EB Games or a GameStop and says, you can't play this because it's going to make you go on a shooting spree.
Gaming violence has been an issue that's been going on since 1992. It began with the release of a fighting game that took blood to a whole new level, Mortal Kombat. This game was so violent that it had parents in an uproar and single-handedly created the Entertainment Software Ratings Board, also known as the ESRB. But what about 2015? Does the same concern that scared everyone back then still have parents asking for games to be pulled in fear that it'll cause their children to turn violent? According to Robin Gibb, associate professor in the Department of Neuroscience at the University of Lethbridge, video games do have an effect on the brain.
Video games have been shown to increase violence in children. So if you're allowing your children to play those games of violence, it makes it normal for them to have violence in their lives.
Video games may be one reason why someone is violent, but there are other factors in their life, such as family violence and bullying, that cause violence as well. It is because of this that the debate rages on. Alex Mulick, eNEWS.
You may be asked to provide identification when purchasing video games rated M for mature. Coming up next on eNEWS, Lethbridge and Southern Alberta participated in a national celebration of Canada's favorite sport, and how a local musician hopes to break out on his own.
Celebrating
50 years of being
A special hockey tour came to Lethbridge last weekend, offering fans a chance to experience a different side of the game. Cole Smith was there.
Fans across Lethbridge embraced the heavy wind to experience Rogers hometown hockey. Lethbridge was one of 25 communities selected for this year's tour, giving fans a chance to experience hockey in a fun new way. The event was free to enjoy, with free handouts and games to enjoy for everyone. Even a small-time road hockey tournament was underway through the entire day. Hockey fan says events like hometown hockey really bring out the hockey spirit in everyone involved.
Oh yeah, I think it's a great event. It definitely brings out the community spirit, all the hockey spirit that's in Lethbridge, and yeah, I think it's a great event.
The event featured many games and attractions for everyone. Games like mini hockey, road hockey, and even a shootout challenge were available for kids to enjoy. Big hockey heroes like Marc Messier were also at the event, signing autographs and joining fans in the celebration of hometown hockey. Not to mention the Sportsnet mini mock studio setup that let fans announce at the famous Sportsnet desk along Ivanka Osmat. Hockey fans Marie and Dennis Wickham say the event was great for the community, especially for the kids.
Yeah, I think they've got a lot of activities for the kids to do and a lot of giveaways for the kids, and it's great to see some hockey heroes out here.
Events like Rogers Hometown Hockey bring Canadians together to celebrate one of Canada's favorite pastimes and show the love for the game. For eNEWS, I'm Cole Smith.
The event at the NMAX Center parking lot was broadcast during the Chicago Blackhawks-Winnipeg Jets game, with veteran host Ron MacLean also making an appearance.
It can be a struggle keeping up with the bills while pursuing your dreams. Taylor Wall focuses on a local artist who is doing just that while preparing to release an album at the end of the month.
Meet Bryson Spate, a mechanic by day. Spate is a third-year heavy equipment apprentice technician and is employed by Rocky Mountain Equipment in Taber, Alberta. His regular 8-to-5 job allows him to pursue his passion in the evenings. Meet Bryson Spate, musician by night. Spate has been playing guitar for over 5 years and has been writing music and lyrics for all types of genres for almost 2 years. With today's technology being so musician-friendly, Spate thought he would start creating his own music from the comfort of his home. From Bryson Spate to Stiffs and Sprate, as the months went by, the hard work paid off, and before he knew it, he had enough material for an album. Spate says the creativity he uses in his trade helps him in the studio.
All throughout work, I got a song in my head, I'm singing, whatever. Work's really good because we have to be really creative to diagnose repairs, and you find different ways to do different things, and you really have to work hard at being creative. You have to find solutions, but you have to create them on your own. So I kind of take that home in the studio and capitalize on that when I'm trying to make a song, try different things, and hope for the best.
Fellow musician Brian Rainey was once in Spate's shoes. He's recorded in a number of studios during his career, but he says due to the Canadian music market, Spate's biggest concern should be distribution.
I guess the Canadian market is 10th of U.S. market, so we've got an uphill battle. Yeah, it's hard work. You've almost got to hire a manager. You've almost got to get a company on your side that's willing to do it for cheap, and you'd want to be with a production company that's going to stick with you.
Spate is quite content without a manager or a company behind him. He has created a logo and has started distributing clothing items to promote his self-titled, self-produced album, Stiffs and Sprate, which is set to release April 27th of this year. For eNEWS, I'm Taylor Wall.
To find out more about Spate and his album, you can visit his page at facebook.com/stiffsandsprate.
Students at local schools are taking the stage in a number of productions that they've been working on for months. We begin our team coverage with Kiana Nelson, who's standing by to tell us more about Wilson Middle School's production of Alice in Wonderland Jr. Kiana?
Thanks, Sarah. Over 70 students were involved in the musical on stage and behind the scenes. I found out just why everybody there had so much interest. Students in grades 6 to 8 have worked long and hard since the end of December to show the public that they are all mad about their roles in Alice in Wonderland. One of the co-directors, Lauren Kopp, says these plays are great for students.
Middle school sucks. It's really hard. And drama just helps giving them that confidence.
Kopp adds that the directors chose Alice in Wonderland because they felt that the story related well to middle school, as Alice herself meets people who maybe help or get in the way of her path, but knows to always stay true to herself. It's been 7 years since Wilson Middle School has decided to put on a musical production, adding that this one is the biggest one yet. Grade 7 student Isabel Crown says that drama is her favorite thing right now and that her experience in her first play has been fun.
It's been lots of fun. It's been great. You work as a team. It's not just your separate role, and you get to know other people from the school that you haven't met before.
Other students like Trinity Allis, who's in grade 8, say drama is such a good way of putting yourself out there and putting a smile on people's faces.
I think it's how performing and making other people happy as they watch the show, and just making their lives happier.
Cast member Leilani Saran says that she loves to act and thinks that it's interactive.
I think acting includes people having more courage and being brave, and that while I'm acting in front of them and they're watching, they can be more like active and brave.
Teachers say it has been a long time coming and that they couldn't be prouder in each and every one of the students. Wilson Middle School wanted to incorporate all of the arts, so there's dance, drama, music, and art in their show.
It seems like this musical was part of a greater arts-focused curriculum. Can you tell me a little bit more, Kiana?
The musical is part of the Collage of the Arts 2015, which is an annual spring celebration.
Thanks, Kiana.
And from one city school to another, a set, a spotlight, and a stage. That was all the students of Chinook High School needed to prove their creative abilities when they recreated the classic Charlotte's Web. Demi Knight has more on this tangled story.
Hi, I won't be baking for anybody. Remember.
Students of the Chinook High School Drama Department brought in big crowds this week with their performance of this classic tale. However, the show was meant to teach the students more than just acting. Charlotte herself, played by Makita Mikulak, says being involved in these productions works to engage the students in the whole creative process of making a show.
It allows us to create characters and to be really creative, even with like the text. Like we sort of create some of our own text as well, so it brings out like different characters and different emotions like that are created by us.
Well, Charlotte, you old schemer. Productions like these not only allow the students to become a new person on stage, but it also gives them the opportunity to explore a section of the curriculum not always taken advantage of with other schools. Director of the play, Sharon Pete, says it's imperative that the students get to express themselves creatively, as this is a core function within society.
It's essential for everyone. The reality is that, even the Fortune 500 companies are looking for people who can think outside the box and create and work as a team, and those are the skills that are found within a drama curriculum.
The creativity, however, didn't end on stage, as grade 9 students were able to showcase their creations of the animals seen on stage. Big set designs and extravagant costumes also played a large part in this production of Charlotte's Web, providing many students from all areas of the arts department a part in the creative procedure. For eNEWS, I'm Demi Knight.
The production ran for a total of 4 nights with a rotating cast that provided more students the opportunity to participate. Wow, that was really awesome that they, got everybody out there and, to participate. I think that's so awesome.
I love watching kids in shows.
Yeah, no, for sure. I actually saw a rendition of this in Calgary not too long ago.
Oh, that's exciting. Yeah, I remember actually one time in a summer camp, I got the opportunity to play Charlotte. So it's kind of cool to see it made in a different way.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Well, that's all the time we have for this week. See you next time.